Hi guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. You're joined by myself, who's pretty cold. It's Omundi Juma. Mr. B looks like he's got his heating on because he's looks like he's in Bermuda. And I don't know who our final guest is, but I'm sure we'll find out very soon. Welcome to the Man United Agenda. Yes. Oh, it's Andy. It's Andy Kate. We're a bit confused there. Yes. Andy, I know we're down south and it's cold down here for sure. What's the temperature like up north, man?
Oh, it's cold, but we haven't got no snow, but it's Baltic. It was Baltic. I went to the women's derby yesterday at the Etihad. Oh, and I tell you what, I saw polar bears driving the buses, penguins on their trams. Jesus.
What do you do? I mean, you're in your own home, and like me, I've just walked in the door. That's why I still got my jacket and hoodie on. But is it that cold? I can't see.
This is cold, yeah. If you're an MP, if you're a wealthy billionaire prime minister, you can live it up. But people up north, we get on with it. We're not wimps like MPs are. You know what I mean? They've got to eat. All they want to do is heat their swimming pool.
Mr. B, you look lovely and warm there, man. How long you been in? How long you had the heating on?
My heat has probably been, what time did I get in? Picked up the kids about 4. So yeah, my heat has been on since I walked through the door, mate.
Yeah, you look nice and cozy, man. I like us.
I am. I would have had the t-shirt on, but I didn't want to embarrass you, so now.
Guys, first of all, I want to chat because there's two things I want to talk about. Put a little intro here. Real Betis won, Man United 0. I must say I missed the game. I've only seen highlights now, so I don't know whether you guys can.
Low lights.
Yeah, I've seen a 3-minute and a 5-minute highlight reel. And obviously, England going out to France. I mean, there's a lot of talking points from that. So what are we starting with? Pick one.
England going out.
All right. Yeah, let's talk about that.
We got 3 Man United players coming back, so they should be here for the Burnley game. I told you I wasn't feeling the World Cup on Monday. I did say that to you. I don't know if it was because it was in. I just want all the Man United players to come back fit. I mean, look, we're going to get Lisandro Martinez now all the way to the end and Varane. So we're going to lose our centre-back period. That's how I've been looking at it. I'll be honest. That's how I've been looking at it. I look at Arsenal. They got Jesus injured. He went out there, played half a game and done his knee for 3 months. So I was hoping that, touch wood, the players that we can come back and we can push on.
But you're not talking much about the game or anything like that. I just want to say hi to Football United TV. Had a great show earlier. Vincent Bullock as well saying hi, guys. Miguel, how you doing, man? Welcome back. Say good evening. Matthew Bassett is in the house as well. How you doing? And he's saying big up to everyone in the chat. I know, Andy, come on, you're going to talk about the game. France, England. I mean, there's so many talking points. Penalty decisions, referee. Were we better side in the second half? Didn't want to take our chances. Why can't we get through with the crunch games and clutch? What's going on?
Missed opportunity, really big missed opportunity because we were the better side. France, for me, they had 2 shots. That was it. And they scored 2. We had at least good 4 or 5 opportunities. Selection, players. Where was Rashford? Saka was playing well. Referees, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
No, I want to get you started, Andy. That's what you're here for. Talk to me about the referee. What are you saying? What's your point of view on this? Because people are saying that there should have been a pen, but now it's been overruled because of the rule or something like that.
We should have had 3 penalties.
Counted because of the foul on Saka. What do you think about this?
The referee was pathetic. Seriously, it's like I remember the controversy Germany got knocked out of with Japan, a ball across the line. I even said it. As soon as that game was over with Japan and Spain, I said, we are going to get shafted by VAR. And lo and behold, we have been shafted by, say, people. I don't know. Was he feeling disappointed because Brazil and Neymar lost the night before? Truly pathetic referee. Seriously. He didn't want to know. Saka got fouled. Kane, clear as day, Stonewall pen. I don't know. What goes around comes around now for France because we all know when they lose, they are the biggest baguettes. It's so losers going this side of the Channel Islands. So believe me, they will suffer in the next 2 games. and anybody but France for the World Cup. I hope Morocco do him. I really do.
What about, guys, can we talk about the penalty? Because obviously he took the first penalty. He had to reset the ball. And I was thinking, oh, I'm nervous for him. But he finished it. Finished his dinner perfectly. The second penalty, obviously he's facing against his club teammate who knows about him. His run-up wasn't right. I didn't feel right about it. And he blazed it over the bar. And Kane is, but I wouldn't pick anyone else in the side to take that pen. So there's no, I'm not making excuses here. But what do you think it is? It's just the clutch moment that he couldn't step up? Because I remember in the World Cup 4 years ago against Belgium, the semi-final, I think it was Croatia, he missed a sitter. And I was thinking that was a clutch moment. You could have really sort of...
Oh, yeah. But he should have squared it to Sterling.
Yeah. You remember that?
Hit the post. He should have played it right to Sterling, then you two.
Is there an issue with Kane and clutch? That could really... I mean, what's going on with the penalty there? Talk me through that, guys.
Well, he just did it. I mean, the first one you thought was he repositioned it, didn't it? And I thought he's going to miss this. But the second one, it was like, why you just keep doing what you do? Why'd you put so much power into it? Hugo Lloris, he's always having a stinker. He always has a stinker, and he has that one great game. Like I say, I hope he has a stinker against Morocco on Wednesday. Really. And it's like, yeah, you could tell what Harry Kane's hurting. I totally get that. And even say Rashford missing with a free kick. Rashford getting abused because with that free kick in the last minute. It's not his fault. It truly is pathetic the way some people react. Some people on YouTube and TikTok. I even give a few answers back to people. There was a few people mocking the English, so I told them what I thought of him, and he was a so-called Liverpool fan. You know what I mean? From Ireland. I'm not going to name him, but I'm sure he knows who he is. So I'll give him both barrels, and he talks a load of shite, as my gran used to say. So it's a missed opportunity. I don't know where to go now with England. Your next European Championships, that has to be a target, but whether with the right manager, I don't know. Southgate. Somebody mentioned that he's a kind of like an old Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He'll get you so far, and he'll bottle it in the last stages. That's what it is.
Mr. B, you don't want to talk much. So you don't want to talk about Man United players, don't you? But you got anything to add to that? Because obviously the refereeing decision, you saw it through your own eyes. And just give us a feel about what sort of players shone for England, and is the future bright? I mean,
the future is bright. I'll be honest, the future is bright, but. He subs, I think when they went 1-1, I think he should have made the change instead of waiting for France to make the change. I mean, the game was screaming out for pace. There was a couple of times where they broke, and I just thought, Jesus, if Rashford was playing, all right, he might not have done much, but he would have stretched them more. I just think that the tools that he had, I mean, he played Sterling. I think he played Sterling because he came back from the situation. He hadn't trained all week, but he still put him on. I just think his subs maybe could have been made a little bit earlier. But England, the future's bright for England. There's a good crop of players. There's a good crop of, they've got depth as well. If you look at the strength that they've got in depth as well, they've got players. But I don't know if Southgate has that tactical thing that will take him. You know, Jose would do so. Yeah, Jose would do, as much as I hate Jose, tactically, man, he knows his shit. I mean, John Terry.
Go back to the final with Italy, mate. Defend. Oh, they've equalised. Defend. Bring on Rashford, Sancho with 2 minutes to go of extra time. Bring on Grealish with 15 minutes of extra time. Makes no sense. Should have brought Grealish on with half an hour to go. Rashford
give him time to change the game. Yeah,
I just think that it up a bit. Foden was absolutely. He played a blind the first half, and the poor kid was tired. Go up to the 60th minute. Fresh it up, fresh legs. You know what Rashford's like? Energy, pace. And it's just another wasted opportunity. And I don't want to hear the excuses from Southgate. He's still contracted till beyond the Euros. So we'll, like you say, but if we don't do well in qualifying, like you say, we're a laughing stock of the Nations League. Quite frankly, I couldn't care less about it. Glorified friendlies.
I don't even know how that works anyway. I mean, they what is it, qualification for a
We got
tournament?
relegated.
Yeah, but what does it mean? What, they just play shit teams that they're going to
We
batter
play
again?
lower league European countries. So
Does it make any
like
difference, really?
But guys, so we talk about lower league European countries. We always qualify for the Euros. We always qualify for the World Cup because we're always in groups that we're not competitive really. We usually get through without any too much bother. So but when we come up against a top team, we don't have that clutch. We don't have the players that are used to winning. We don't, and France sort of get over the edge because of experience maybe and doing the right thing at the right time, tactical fouls or whatever people are saying. So I do think there's an issue maybe with England and clutch, and that comes from winning big things. They had a great opportunity, like Andy was saying, at the Euros to win something big, and I think that could have given them a bit more confidence going in. But overall, I think it's been a good World Cup, and I will continue to watch it, obviously because we've got players in there. Just quickly, I want to talk about our sponsor. You know, we're sponsored by GMS, that's Global Mapping Surveys. They assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services, such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. And check out the link, guys, in the description. That's GMS. I want to go to a few comments before we go to the Real Betis game. Matthew saying France was smart and savvy. Our players fell for their tricks. So did the ref. For instance, saying, didn't know the ref looked so corrupt. Emma's saying, sure, push the French player in the back. They should have had a penalty too. So that works both ways. I want to say hi to Dan C. How you doing, Dan? Everyone give Dan a wave. Big up, Dan. Dan's got a good comment coming later. Foden said, Matthew said Foden was ineffective playing wide left. He should have been playing in the number 10 role. I agree with that. Rashford should have started on the left. I actually agree with that. That's a good point. Box is saying Rashford shouldn't be starting. He's not good enough. Box. Talk saying, haha, Andy. Two names. I can't speak French, but baguette something. Juma from Tom.
Je préfère baguette.
There you go. Hello. Let's say hi to Ragat as well. Big up to Ragat. Everyone say hi to Ragat. He's saying hi. How are you? We're fine, thank you. And Rich Sports, go and check out Rich Sports channel. Top man, always in the late night show with Rich Sports. Tactical fouls all game. Ref was useless. That's the general feel, I think. Dan C is saying Rashford's England top goal scorer in the World Cup was brought on with 10 to 15 minutes to go. Southgate in. Laughing. Box is saying Saka, Foden, Maddison, Kane was right for me playing up top. Rich is saying Maddison should have played more, and so does Matthew Bassett agree. Box is saying Grealish on the 97th minute coming on versus France. We should have took it to France more. Says Matthew, the French team isn't that good as people think. Defensively, they're poor, and the midfield wasn't that good. Dan is saying here to the panel in the comments, who would be your ideal replacement if Southgate was to go? We remember that, guys. They're saying Tucho here. Everyone,
I don't care.
Hi, the stream. Want to say hi to GoPaul. And finally, Stumpy Countertop. Sorry. How you doing, Stumpy? Southgate, if he does go, who would you put in? Another Englishman?
I'm not bothered.
No?
Not
bothered. All right, we're going to move on. Real Betis. Because of all the World Cup thing, we forgot about this game. We covered the game against Cadiz in midweek. We played Betis the weekend on Saturday, and we lost 1-0 against a really strong side. We started with Hansen as well. Donny van der Beek broke down, didn't start. Who's qualified to talk in this game? Because I've only seen highlights. Andy,
I've not seen any either because I didn't get up till 6 o'clock for the Betis game. But from what I've heard, it was pretty one-sided for Betis, wasn't it? Yeah, it was pretty one-sided. I had friends who went over there, and they did both Cadiz and Betis. And I met them yesterday at the women's game at Derby at Old Trafford. And believe me, they swapped 18 to 20 degrees for -2 from Spain to Manchester. So your sunblock, then you got your gloves and that.
So it's just another case of Real Betis 6th in the league against our B team or youths, and that's what kind of expected. So nothing to write home about then, guys.
I'll tell you what I did see from that. Brandon Williams, Jesus Christ, he's terrible. We've got no right side. Dalot's done his hamstring, and we've got to choose either. I don't even know what the club. I don't even know what the club's going to do, bruv. I'll be honest. I don't know what we're going to do. As much as people don't think Dalot's great, he's been a mainstay for the team since the season started, and now we don't have him. The drop off with Wan-Bissaka. I mean, Wan-Bissaka. Both of them were so poor in that game. I can't see he's going to have to buy somebody quick or play somebody out of position maybe or bring somebody back from loan because we've got issues at right back for the next maybe month and a half.
Wow. That is a big issue. Yeah, I think we were talking about Dumfries and Frimpong and all these guys are being named. Maybe even get the guy back from QPR, Lerd. Question here for you from Vincent. Are you going to Bolton tomorrow, Andy? I can't get a ticket sold out that fast for the under-21s.
Yeah, I'm not going tomorrow. I've got family business, so it's my birthday tomorrow. So I'm busy. I'm 48, people.
Happy 21st.
Happy birthday for tomorrow. Guys, make sure you wish Andy a happy birthday from the Man United agenda. Show him some love. 48 years old. He's seen it all. Vincent, that was to Andy. Yeah, we know that. Lindelof at right back says Matthew Bassett. Obviously, all right, so let's move on now. Let's to the main talking points that we have today. First one is this one. Rashford and Garnacho contract extensions. Should be a question mark there because as we know, Rashford his contract runs out 2023, but there is a clause where we can give him a 1-year extension and for him to go on. So there's been a lot said about this recently because he's had a very good World Cup. He was England's top goal scorer, as you know, with 3 goals in the group stages, and that's with coming on a sub as well. It looked really fresh coming in off the right, scoring with his left foot, that sort of thing. So after a dismal start last season, new Manchester United manager Ten Hag came in and plugged a few gaping holes in the squad in the summer transfer window. And he's made a few transfers and doing pretty well on the side as well. But one of the biggest names to shine this season has been Marcus Rashford. He's been club's top goal scorer this season with 8 goals in 19 appearances. So we talk about the contract extension. Ten Hag has revealed the club will trigger the 1-year extension option in his contract in a bid to avoid losing him on a free. Because as we mentioned in the show the other day, Harris is sniffing around as well. The Telegraph has said this, that Rashford is still in strong negotiation position, and there is a growing fear that the former academy player is being advised to run down his contract and seek a new challenge at the end of it. The only thing, says the media, the boss saying, the only thing we can do is show him that this is the best club to be in, which has to do with the culture of the club and also the way that we're working. In the way we play and the way we train is very important. Actually, Marcus was one from the start who came with a smile to Carrington and left with a smile day by day. And from the first moment, it was a joy to work with him. I recognise his talent and his finishing is great. And also, he's been Ten Hag compared him to the so-called great Mbappe. We can see a few comparisons there with his pace and skill and that kind of thing. So 25 years old, contract running down. The manager's endorsing him. Do you endorse him, Mr. B? Let's start with you.
You don't even need to ask me that, but just don't even bother ask me that on Monday. Just get the contract done, get the contract signed. He's now under a coach who is coaching him. He's not under a coach who's just going out there and telling him to run up and down the pitch and do what he likes. I think it's obvious that he's improved. He's scoring goals from the left-hand side for England, cutting in and stroking them in with his left foot. All right, he still does smash every now and then, but he's starting to, maybe it's the Benny McCarthy as well. He's starting to finesse his shots a little bit more. He's starting to have his head up before he's striking the ball a little bit more. So he's learning. I'm taking him all day. I'm taking that contract extension all day. I mean, I know PSG. I mean, I thought it was disrespectful that the PSG man was talking about him being really interested in Rashford. I wasn't sure they're allowed to do that, but he said what he said. I said what I said. I got my point of view on it, but no, if Rashford signs a contract, I'll be over the moon. I'll be over the moon. I think now he's back to what we're expecting. I do expect him to finish on 25 goals in all competitions, to be fair. Anything under that, I think, will be a bit of a disappointment. From now on, every season until he leaves, he needs to be hitting those. That's the figures that he needs to be hitting, regardless of what side of the pitch he's playing on. So, yeah.
Just quickly, before I come to you, Andy, Box is saying happy 40th. You're 8 years out. TalkMU saying happy birthday, Andy. Matthew Bassett saying happy birthday. This one's pretty funny. Vincent saying happiest birthday, Andy Tate. There's only one Andy Tate, and you'll find him right here, long with his Transformers. Andy Tate is a robot in disguise, as you know. And Emma's also giving you a lovely happy birthday message here. And from Miguel as well. Happy birthday. And for our very own Pat, he's saying happy birthday, you handsome devil, you. Our very own Irishman. So what do you think? Rashford, contract running out. What do? You're in charge right now, Andy. You love the club. What are you going to do with Rashford? What's best for business?
You gotta keep him. I don't see, because he's best mates with Mbappe now. You saw the bromance Saturday night, didn't you? So on the Twitter and the Instagram likes and all that, liking each other. So, I'm pretty sure they're gonna use Mbappe to sweet talk Rashford to come over. That's what they'll be doing. The PSG owner, what he's saying on Friday, they're gonna try and sports wash it, brainwash Rashford. But why would you want to go to a Farmers League? Farmers League week in, week out. You're just playing, enjoying the lifestyle of France. You're not going to win a Champions League. That's it. And if Mbappe's got anything about him, you'd be joining another club, Real Madrid. So, yeah, I'll definitely keep Rashford because he's found his form. He's admitted he was on the wrong side of the fence last season with his performances. And not many players last season wanted to admit it because they went running and hiding after some of the performances. He came out, faced the fans after the abuse we gave him coming out of the ground. He snapped. We're all human. We all snap, don't we? I've snapped at Rashford. I've said some really bad things about him. But
what, Andy? What have you said about him?
He's too much concentrating on the off-field things like feeding kids. It overtook. It was always overtaking the on-field performances. He was too much into that. Now I think he's put that on the back burner. He deals with that. You don't hear as much of that, and that's good. But he does it in his own way, and he backs the kids. All his books he does, all the charity is brilliant. But I don't want to see it next to a picture. I'm ready for the match. Yeah, please sponsorship that give to this charity. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Big match Friday, please sponsor this charity. No, big match Friday, big match Saturday. We go. We need to win this. That's what I want to hear from Rashford, and I think he is doing that now. And I say his brother's his agent. He's a very proud lad, family man with his mum and that. And I think he will stay at United because with the project, look where we could be going in the next couple of months with what's going on upstairs. The financial structure could change like that overnight. New contracts, new players as well. We're the projects, and we're like say we're an F1 car, and we're just fine tuning that engine because once we get going, God help the Premier League and God help Europe. And I'm telling you, maybe another 1 or 2 years, but yeah. Why don't you think to Mbappe and bring him over, mate?
Did you guys think, like, because this is a crucial, he's 25 years old, he'll be coming into like peak years in so-called footballing years. So this contract's really important, isn't it? But the problem that we're seeing here, if he signs a 1-year extension, he can still go for free at the end of that. So it depends, like you said, if he's who's in his ear hole and weigh it up. So if you're Rashford right now, do you see yourself becoming a club legend by staying and playing your peak years at the club as an England international and probably one of England's best attacking players? Or do you think it's time to go abroad and get that Real Madrid money or get some prestige playing elsewhere? Mr. B,
do you know what? I don't think it's about money. These players, all right, yeah, it is about money. Let's not get it twisted. But there's only a certain amount of money you can spend. I think these players want to win. Look, Harry Kane scored 340 goals. His goals have meant nothing.
Yeah,
his goals. He scored 340 goals, and they've meant nothing. At the end of the day, players want to win. If we've now got a manager who I believe can win us something, whether it's the Coca-Cola, whether it's the league, whether it's Champions League, whatever it is, I believe he's going to win something. And that's going to be the start of us as a club moving forward again. It's whether Rashford believes, I don't want to say process, that sounds like Arsenal, the project that is going on. If Ten Hag has come in and said to him, I mean, Rashford, he's playing great football under Ten Hag. He's gone to England and it's carried on. He's only going to come back happier and in that same frame of mind. So if he believes in the project, and we'll say, if not 2 years' time, maybe 2 years' time, he says, you know what, we're still not winning nothing. But I still think we've got another 2 or 3 years out of Rashford minimum.
Emma's saying here, I think the club is triggering an extension so we can focus on football right now and contracts in the summer. That would be the smartest, in her opinion, and in mine as well. I do agree with her.
You see, Omundi, you see what the thing with that? If you don't, most contracts are on better terms.
Yeah.
If they trigger his contract for a year, he's going to still be on the same money for that year and a half. If it's been triggered and then in 6 months or in the summer, he signs the new contract, then fine. The issue is if it goes longer than that, then you know that he's definitely looking to run it down. Because what do? Do you take the chance to go 6 months? To go to 6 months, you can't. So
we're at that stage now, aren't we?
Well, no, not really. We've got a year and a half, really, if you think about it, if they're going to trigger it.
Okay, yeah.
You know, that's how I look at it. We've got a year and a half, so it's not great. It's not great.
If you look at on the off-field things as well, with what's been going around with the price, what the owners want for the club today, like £6-7 billion, it's going to affect everything. Basically, they're on thin ice. The owners with the fans, and it's Marcus Rashford is an asset, a money asset, and they don't want to rock the boat. If Rashford goes and leaves, and we don't trigger that extension, believe me, you thought the Super League was bad. There will be absolute carnage at Old Trafford if Rashford is allowed to walk for nothing. No matter what the project is, he's an asset, and they want to tie him down for another year while they get this deal sorted. He's just, like you say, Rashford is just a number to the Glazers. He's just an asset, and that's in the real world we look at. But we'll get that extension done and seal it. And maybe if new owners come in, new contracts will be given out for the right reasons, not dished out like confetti. So like Luke Shaw is going to be looked at. Say Garnacho as well is coming up. We've got to look at Garnacho. Real Madrid is sniffing around. So, Harry Maguire moved. It's going to be an interesting 12 months for United from this Christmas onwards. It really is.
No, most certainly. There's a lot of players that we have to sort of review, and they better pick up their form sharply because the manager's a bit ruthless. He won't play around, will he, with these sort of things? You mentioned it there, Andy. You mentioned Garnacho. Obviously, we're going to discuss Garnacho as well. I'm just going to read out a little statement just to give you a little summary about what's going on with Garnacho. So, according to Romano, he claimed the discussions between Man United and Garnacho camp are currently ongoing. He said Ten Hag is wanted to tie the teenager down to a long-term deal. Garnacho, as we know, came off the bench, scored a stunning last-minute winner against Fulham just before the World Cup. We all remember that. I was, going crazy. I'm sure Mr. B was.
We all did, even Mr. B, you bet. Yeah.
Go check out the watch-along, guys. He's saying he has dazzled in the Europa League and or the Carabao Cup this campaign. Garnacho is set for a 10-fold salary increase to fend off interest from Real Madrid. That's the report coming out. So 10-fold means he'll be on 50 grand a week, which suggests he's on 5 grand at the moment, with further increasements for performance and that kind of thing. The youngster's been linked with a potential move to Real Madrid, as we know, and after his recent rise in stardom. So, as we know, we discussed it before the show, just to get clarified. Maybe we can get some help from the people in the comments. But Garnacho, I think we all agree we want to keep him. He's on 5 grand a week. People are sniffing around because he's playing really well. But at the moment, I think his contract is up until 2024. But they want to secure it by giving him a bumper 50 grand contract, and then with increasements and rises and whatever. Can we talk about him as a player and how much he deserves, and how do you keep someone hungry? Because 50 grand seems okay for me. If they were giving him like 100 grand, I think that's too greedy. It's too soon. So what sort of factors do we have to consider when we're gauging his contract and having discussions right now?
You can't give him silly amounts of money because it can go to players' heads. And if you look over the years, players, they think they've made it. They've got the cars, they've got the lifestyle, they've got the houses, they've got the girlfriends, and they're not performing. So, and I think this is a sensible approach for Garnacho. It's a step along in life. He's on $5,000 a month, bleeding hell. I wish all us was on $5,000 a month. You know what I mean? And he's going up to 50 grand. Now, there's think because you're 18, 19. So this contract's 50 grand. Will take you into your 20s, 21, 22. So you'll look at your next contract when you're 21, 22, lad. You just turned 19. So if you want them big zeros, you got to earn it. But I think he's on the right level to do it anyway. He's got his family's with him. And I'm sure, like I say, his mum, he's very influential in his life as well. So they're very proud of him. And yeah, he's been living it up the last 6 months, 7 months, like you say. He scored 2 in one of Youth Cup with United, scored 2 in a final. I watched it. It was a brilliant match, and he was a star of the match that night. And he's come on leaps and bounds. His attitude was a little bit wrong in the summer, from like you say, but he was pulled to one side, and he straightened himself out from Ten Hag, and Bruno mentioned it. So, yeah, he just working up to that 50 grand contract. Then your next big contract in your 20s. From 20 to 50, from 20 to 30, you will get monumental money, mate. So just concentrate on baby steps. Once you get 20, 21, do what you want in the world, but just take baby steps.
Box is saying here, give him $6,000 a week. That's $1,000 more, and voucher for JD Sports and Nando. And Vincent saying, give him $50,000 a week, boy. Mama house, and tell him if he scored 30 goals, you get a bonus like a brand new car.
He gets an Xbox. He gets an Xbox.
Want to say hi to Brian. How you doing, Brian? Welcome to the channel. Give Brian a wave, guys. He's saying Garnacho deserves a new contract. We've established, yeah, definitely, most definitely he does. Mr. B, over to you. So, what do you think the factors are when you're trying to get someone motivated, not getting them too greedy, like Andy was saying? What do we need to do to really secure this contract here?
I mean, we've got to hope that one, he's got his head screwed on.
Do you think he has? Do you think he's got his head screwed on?
Yeah, I think he has. I think he has. I mean, the fact that he didn't get called up to the Argentina squad, I'm very, very happy with. One, he probably wouldn't have played. Two, it's kept him. All right, he's going to be a star anyway, but it's kept him away from that whole. I mean, look, Argentina in the semi-final. Can you imagine the what Garnacho, the sort of press that Garnacho would be getting? He's here. He's at Old Trafford. I mean, the Ten Hag and Bruno both made comments about his attitude at the beginning of the season, and you know, we heard he was late for a meeting. That's why he didn't play in pre-season. But players have to learn. If he does it again, then fine. But if it's his first offense, everybody has to learn. People still make mistakes. I'm still making mistakes at the grand old age of 24 right now. So, you know,
shit. 24, Mr.
Yeah.
B,
Oh, thank you very much. Shit happens. So no, I think he's learned. To be fair, I would like to think he's learned. And Ten Hag, he works with young players. He nurtures young players. So do Man United as a club. So I think that marriage, that's a marriage made in heaven for us right now. And as long as he accepts his role in the team and doesn't expect to be, because he's on 50 grand that he's supposed to be starting, and when he does start, he does what he's been doing, then it's no problem. He will earn his money. Just
to slightly go off track here, I want to say Brian again, big up. He's saying he's just joined the Cyprus Man United supporters club. Loads of Cypriot Reds out here. Who do we play in the Europa League for Cypriot team?
Oh, was it Omnia?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was Olympic. Yeah, it was Omnia, wasn't it? Yeah, Olympic Nicosia. I thought it was them.
Yeah. So
memory's worse than mine. I love it.
So when we've gone on tour out there, I mean, yeah, there must be a supporters club for Man United out in Cyprus. So big up, Brian, and make sure you support the Man United agenda as well, because we're all about Man United, and I'm sure it's lovely and warm out there right now. Lucky you. What do you think, Brian? He obviously said he deserves a new contract, but how much would you give him? And just quickly go back to Rashford. there is reports talking about 300 grand a week if he does sign a long-term contract, which would secure him at the club. Do we need to sort of start balancing the books? And I know Andy touched on about 50 grand and don't give him too much just
Give
yet.
him a PS5 as well because they're that rare. 50 grand on a PS5. Give him a PS5 for Christmas.
Yeah.
Black hotcakes.
I mean, what makes people hungry? How do you keep players hungry and wanting to achieve? Because Mr. B
It's
just said
internal. I think
internal.
I'll be on. Yeah, I think it's internal, Omundi. If you're not, look, we know a lot of footballers who can play football, and for whatever reason, they didn't go where they should have been, and that's down to internal discipline. That's to say no to this, and to say no to this, and to say no to this. When his friends are going out there doing this and doing, you've got to have. So he has. It's internal. I believe it comes from within. Yeah, they can nurture it as managers and coaches, and even down to your mum and your dad. But if you're going to do it, you're going to want to do it. So I think it's internal, but I think he's got the right minerals. I think he's made of the right minerals, to be fair.
I think Ronaldo said it best in that controversial interview about youngsters, players of today. They don't want to listen, and this, that, and the other. So I think youngsters in general will take heed to them words from Ronaldo. I think Garnacho, that Ronaldo's his idol.
Yeah.
And I think because of what Ronaldo has said, will have an effect on Garnacho and make him work hard. And he's like, I've got to listen. I've got to do it. I can't go off the rails like certain other United players have done.
Yeah.
And I say Ronaldo may have left in controversy, but that little bit of that statement and that interview, I think it will resonate with Garnacho, and it will spur him on to do well.
Andy, does Garnacho have his family with him over in Manchester, living with him? Is that, or is he just on his own? I mean, do we know much about his setup?
Who, Garnacho?
Yeah, Garnacho. Does he have his family, parents with him?
Oh, he's got his family over here. He said his Argentinian family's over here. Well, I don't know why it all went quiet. So, we're looking at each other.
I thought I was muted or something.
His family. Like that. Oh, big suspense. You wait for something, a cliffhanger. No, his family's right over here. They're all settled in Manchester. I don't know if they live in Cheshire and all that, but all his family's over here. And I say they follow him. I think his mum was there for when he scored at Fulham. So yeah.
That gives a bit of security. Hopefully he doesn't go.
Yes, he's not alone. He's got family behind him, and that's what you need. As long as
just
you got your family behind you and you take each day as it comes.
Box is saying here, really good points here. You should look at McTominay and Langer as recent examples of youth graduates who have knuckled down. So whatever formula work with them, we should stick with.
Yeah, but they've got less talent. They've got less talent than Garnacho, so they had to knuckle down. Or they wouldn't be in the squad.
Emma saying Bruno also said that we expect a lot from him, meaning Garnacho, when he said something about his attitude. He doesn't mean that he definitely got something that. Sorry. Let me start again. Bruno also said we expect a lot from him. That was the quote. When he said something about his attitude, but doesn't that mean he definitely got something and he has impressed senior players in training? Oh, that's the side from Cyprus, Neil Lennon's side. We're going to come on to this abnormal adventures. We're going to finish up with the Amazon runners and money as well when it comes to that. Box is saying it's so hard to keep youth players humble and grounded. Eventually, probably bullshit about the Apple rumors, says Emma. Garnacho, born and bred in Spain, with Madrid, Spanish father, mum Argentinian, and his mum was there for the youth club final. Okay, from Vincent. That's what he likes about Garnacho. Tries to go and watch under 21 games as well. All right, guys, we have taken a little breather. We're going on to the next and final talking point. It's about 100 million transfer budget. And we're just going to wind up with this. We're not going to go too much into it. But quickly, as they said, Amazon are reportedly being muted as potential buyers from Man United with the Glazer family, hoping to sell up in the first quarter of 2023. That's to add to, who is it the other day? Amazon and Apple now being linked with us. The statement reads, we evaluate all options to ensure we best serve our fans and that Manchester United maximises the significant growth opportunities available to club today and in the future. Throughout this process, we will remain fully focused on serving the best interests of our fans, shareholders, and various stakeholders as well. The Athletic are reporting that a full scale is being aimed at the first quarter of 2023. There is hope that the price will be between 6 to 7 billion, as Andy mentioned earlier as well. Amazon chief executive Jeff Bezos is one of the richest people in the world, as his net is understood to be $113.4 billion. That's a lot of money. We could talk about $100 million or pounds for our transfer budget. Where would you spend it, guys? Let's talk about where we need our players and what would you buy, because we've been linked with so many different players. What really attracts you guys? The 16 in the comments now. Press the like button. And what do you guys think? If we've got 100 million to spend this summer, in the January transfer window, have you seen something in the World Cup? Is there players you've always had your eye on? Where do we need to sort of fulfill the squad to make sure we get a top 4, which is realistic this season? Over to you guys. Talk to me.
I'm taking a striker. I'm taking a right back for definite. I'm selling Wan-Bissaka for whatever I can get. That'll bump up the figure. I'm getting rid of Van der Beek. That'll bump up the figure again. And if we could get a central midfielder as well, that'll be great. But I think we definitely need a forward player. Whether it's we need a striker. I think we need a centre forward. It's not even anything. We need a centre forward, and we definitely need a right back. Whether or not that's going to cost 100 million, I would be very surprised. I'm sure we could loan a couple of players, maybe, do a couple of things on loan. But if we don't get a striker and a right back, we are fucked.
We've got 4 or 5 minutes to discuss this. Guys, Matthew Bassett is saying here quickly, right back, centre back, and a striker. Andy, what you been sniffing around? What you got on your radar?
Striker, maybe 2 strikers.
2
right back, centre back. Well, we all know Martial will come a cropper again this season.
Yeah, all right.
We want to fit Martial, but let's be realistic. In the world what it is now, we ain't getting it. So, say loan deals, maybe a swap. I've heard, was it Atletico lad? Was it João Felix? Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard them possibly. You're not going to pay 100 million in January. Well, maybe you got to look at maybe a loan with the option to buy in the summer as well. You got to look at something like that. Gakpo, Memphis Depay.
No, not Memphis, please, not Memphis.
No. I'm only saying what's out there. I know he could do a job for somebody. Maybe not us, but he could do a job for somebody.
Go Arsenal.
Yeah, because Arsenal have lost Zeus. So basically, over the Christmas period, we're going to see where Arsenal's title bid does, where's United's top 4. Because come start January, we could be level with Arsenal, and I would love that. Love it, as Kevin Keegan would say. But it's so crazy what's going down. And I think...
Andy, is it crazy to assume that we've got 100 million?
I don't think we've got 100 million. Because if what's been being said and been done over the last couple of days, in the Glazers not taking dividends, sales going up, sales going on, estimated prices of the club. Something's happening. I think he will get some transfer kit. You've got to sell Wan-Bissaka, loan him out, shore up some wages. His attitude is completely off the radar. So,
look, you know what you got to think, right? Ronaldo's wages have gone. That's 16 million straight away. All the players that went to the World Cup, we got $9,000 per day per player. That's an extra nearly 2.5 million. That's 18.5 million. We haven't even done nothing to get that money. So surely there has to be, even if it was an extra 50 or 60, I can't believe I don't believe, me, Omundi, I always think that we're tight asses, we're not going to spend, but the position that we're in, it'd be more appealing to sell the club in a Champions League position than in a Europa League position.
Yeah.
That 100 million that they spend in January, it may well put an extra. All right, it's going to burn
them, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it benefits them
exactly.
in the long run.
As much as it hurts to say
90 million, we're getting 7 million 3-4 months down the line.
Billion.
billion.
Billion, trillion, zillions, whatever it is. It's the way the world is, and it's such a shame. But if we want to do something this season now, because we're going non-stop football till June. That's it, basically. FA Cup final. What's going on? Top 4 race, League Cup. Who knows what? Maybe even a title charge. Who knows? We don't know what the world is. We don't know what's going to come next 6-7 months.
It's strange. Monday.
But we need a striker. We need cover. We need strength in depth. A lot. Maybe a permanent signing and a couple of loan moves with the option to buy in the summer. And Ten Hag like that. He said, "Do you know what? I like him. I'm going to keep this lad. He's all right. I'm going to keep him. Right, lad. You got your contract, right? Didn't work out for you. We move on. We'll go on to the target. We've got new owners. So, like I say, we're in for a big 12 months for United. It's going to be, like I say, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, as I said over the years. And we're definitely going to come out on the other side smiling. It's just a question of being patient. And I'm so craving a trophy this season. I don't care what it is now. Yeah. I don't care what it is. If it's top 4 and the League Cup, I will take it. And then we say, you've won a trophy, we go on. And if next season we fall short, but we're still not on the right track, we're doing well. But this season is paramount. We need a trophy.
Just for Matthew Bassett saying Enzo Fernandez or Jude Bellingham. We've seen them both in the World Cup. I think Enzo's been linked with Liverpool today, hasn't he? Enzo Fernandez from Benfica. There's so many players. Boxers saying take Cavani on loan for 6 months. The Big G as well. Big G, how you doing, man? Welcome back. He's saying Ramos, obviously the Benfica striker, Hakimi, the right back from PSG.
We can't get. We do. Oh Jesus! Can you imagine if we could prize away Hakimi?
Not going to happen. Miguel's feeling a bit unwell, so I hope you feel better soon, Miguel. And thanks for joining us today. Wish him well. Pat saying Fring from the right back and Gakpo up front. That's 2, which could probably take up the money. So yeah, there's lots of options there. It's interesting times. I'm just. What is it? So we've got Burnley, haven't we? Coming back soon.
21st.
21st Carabao Cup. And that's a chance to get into the quarterfinal.
Brilliant.
And like you say, on the Thursday, there's another big gun's going to go out when City play Liverpool. So
I'll be honest. Burnley aren't joking at the moment, you know.
No. Burnley are going to be tough. I will not underestimate Burnley.
He's done a really good job.
Top of the league, aren't they? Or the second. They're in the mix to come straight back up.
They won 3-0 yesterday as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they won 3-0 yesterday.
Yeah, we'll not underestimate them.
Before you go though, what do the club need to buy in your opinion?
Well, I'm endorsing the coaching. There's 20 people watching right now. You've answered the question as well, because we are going to sign off very soon. But I don't believe we can have 100 million. Like you said, the Ronaldo money, if we sell a couple of players, reduce the wage bill, that kind of thing. It's very key that we get someone in which is vital for us, what the manager feels. I think our injury room is okay. I think with Zidane Iqbal, he's proven enough in the last couple of games that he's good enough to step in.
I think he's going to play. I think he's going to get games.
So I don't think the injury room's okay there. And the Casemiro and all these guys, they really proved to be good signings, because we were complaining for years about our midfield, and that's not an issue anymore. I think that's been secured. Centre backs, okay, just okay. Full back, right back, when you cover. I'm gutted. I heard you say earlier that Delo's got a strain or something.
Hamstring.
That's really bad news. Really bad news for us. So we need to get that covered. I would get a right back. And maybe have a look at the guy Gakpo as well, because obviously he's been, there's no smoke without fire. And obviously he's always the one name that comes up time and time again. We've had a chance to look at him in the World Cup again. If we were scouts, what would really we be saying? There's still a little question mark for me, despite him doing it on an international stage in the World Cup. I'm not sure. There's something just not clicking for me whether he can really be that guy for Manchester United. We're talking here Premiership combined with Champions League football and getting the same numbers. So it's really interesting. I'm just going to wait and find out. But the most important thing, I've got faith in the manager, because he's proven since he's been here since June or whatever, he's proven to be really fantastic. Best manager that we've had for a long, long time. Now maybe going back to Fergie. The other guys were good, but this guy suits our club, and the timing's right for him as well. So glory, Man United. I'm just behind it. Yeah, let's get behind the team. Anyway, on that note, guys, any last words before we sign out?
Yeah, it's going to be very messy this week, and I hope Argentina win the World Cup and shaft the French baggy-eating French.
I think Argentina are going to do it as well somehow. Team for team, I just think it's all geared for them to do it.
This is lined up for Maradona, and it's like a tribute for Maradona.
Yes,
this is
100%.
Messi's last chance as well, because Messi blew it in 2014. He won't blow it twice. No way.
I do.
So you're going to see a lot of French tears on Sunday, and I for one will be laughing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I will be laughing because that could have been us, but it's not to be us. But it will be the Messi show this week.
And don't you think our players have represented themselves really well playing for Man United?
All of them been great.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Even Pellistri.
Yeah, of course. Let's give him that. Like, he made the squad. You got to give him that as well. Yeah. He never got any game time, but he made the squad. A fair play to the lad. And I hope something works out for him to play football somewhere else. It's just not fair on the young lad.
Andy, just give us a shout out. Where can we find you?
You can find me on the Stretford Paddock. You can find me on the Manchester United Agenda, the best football channel on a Monday night if you want to chat with anything Man United. I am currently on Instagram and TikTok. You don't stop. Oh, you find me on there? Just Google.
I love it. As you know, it's the World Cup semi-final tomorrow, so we'll be going at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. If there's extra time and penalties in an intriguing game, we might just set the time a bit later. As you know, we'll go back to 8:30 soon when the World Cup is over and we get back to real domestic football, which is Man United, and it's our bread and butter. But from Mr. B, from Andy and myself, we're signing out. Thanks to everyone who tuned in today, and we'll see you tomorrow, possibly about 9 o'clock. Later.